Okay, hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome to
EZE-IKEMBA 1 TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.
and it's your African Chinese Queen Emilia Donatus. And today we're still on Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace. But today we'll be talking about creativity, culture, and influence. And I'm not here alone. I have lots of ambitious, creative young youth in the building, and as well a distinguished guest. So while we're going to short break, when we come back, I will introduce to you who my guests are. Stay tuned.
The essence of our heritage and dynamism of our future. The richness of our tradition and vibrancy of our celebration.
Experience the pinnacle of African entertainment.
Show some love. Put your hands together for MOP.
Lifestyle choice from cutting-edge technology. Dive into the world of African cinema where stories come to life.
Peace, progress, and stability in the family.
With a diverse lineup of educative shows and inspiration.
EZE-IKEMBA 1 TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.
Alright, incredible viewers, welcome back to EZE-IKEMBA on TV. And today we're talking about culture, influence, and creativity. And I have lots of distinguished guests in the building. By my right, I have His Royal Excellency EZE-IKEMBA 1. Good afternoon, my king.
Thank you, African Chinese Queen Emilia.
How are you?
As usual, I'm doing great. It's a special morning. You know, today is Wednesday and midweek is so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, to my left, I have another hilarious creative in the building, and he goes by the name Mr. Lossy. Welcome, Mr. Lossy.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Doing excellently, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And I have another distinguished creative. He goes by the name Mr. Adewale. Welcome, Mr. Adewale.
Thank you very much.
Okay, together they are members of T Prime Real Estate Company, and today they are live with us at EZE-IKEMBA 1 TV. Today we're talking about culture, creativity, and influence. And based on the segment we'll be having for the past week, Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace, a lot of reactionists have a very striking questions to ask to our distinguished guest, His Royal Excellency EZE-IKEMBA 1. Now I'm going to read out the questions for you so that you understand. On our last program, we talked about Made in Nigeria, Made with Grace. And we talked about being a creative, an entrepreneur, and how to actually maximize the opportunities you have at the global stage, or how to stand out as a creative. And today, in today's segment, we're talking about cultural influence and creativity. So the first questions from our audience, Mr. Lawson and Adewale, to you, my king, His Royal Excellency EZE-IKEMBA 1. This is the question for you. Would you like to define what cultural values means to us as Nigerians?
Yeah, thank you. Basically, I appreciate the youth for having followed us on these topical issues to this point where we are getting reaction. That means that what we're doing on EZE-IKEMBA TV is making impact, and our youth are tapping into this golden opportunity for us to redefine our culture and spirit. Now, value. I want to understand that value. Value are those things that makes us unique, those things that keeps us in check with custom and tradition, standards, model value. Now in Africa, what are those things that instill value? Tradition, culture, that are the things that instill value. Whatever that instills value does not create values. Whatever that creates division does not instill value. Vis-a-vis religion. To me, as an African, religion creates division, while tradition creates value, culture creates value. If I'm a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are divided along the lines of religion. But if I am an Igbo man, you are an Hausa man, or Yoruba man, it doesn't create division. What it creates is an independent competition that spurs you to showcase the value that makes you a Yoruba man, an Igbo man, or an Hausa man. And what are those things? A mode of dressing. There is this pride that comes when you step out on your traditional regalia as an Igbo man, or as a Yoruba man, or as an Hausa man. You wouldn't want the other tribe to outshine you. You dig down and come up with the best of your best to show that I represent my people based on the values of whole. Our language is also a part of the value of whole as a people. Wherever you go, you speak your language. And that language instills the value that promotes you based on your identity and originality. Another thing is the kind of foods we eat. They are the values. I am proud because in my ethnicity, we have special foods we use in hosting our guests. So when once you have special visitors, you tell your wife, you say, please make me cashew as an ETCHE man with loi to entertain my guests. So that when they go, they say, I ate a special meal in the land of ETCHE ethnicity called cashew. It becomes a brand. Also, talking about value, value creates quality around what you protect. Because what is value? What you attach, the sentiment you attach to a thing becomes a value.
Okay.
Your protectiveness to a thing becomes a value. Your instinct towards positivity on a thing becomes a value. And those things are found within our culture and tradition.
Thank you so much, my king. Well, you've heard from the king, and we're talking about cultural identity, because for you to actually stand out, or for people to actually value you, I will always say value makes a difference in your results. And the king has actually answered that. Then to our questionnaires, Mr. Lawson, are you satisfied with the king's response regarding the first question? What culture means to you? What culture means to you? Are you satisfied with that, or you have something to say? Because this segment has to be as interactive, as educative, as important here.
Well, what he says really cuts deeply towards culture and values. He elaborated on the importance of value. Also spoke about the dressing, the food, and also how value is generated. In the sense of value comes from what you give it, the protection you give it, the goodwill for the progress of that thing is what makes it valuable. People that come together and say, okay, this is valuable, this is valuable.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. Adewale.
All right. That was really a wonderful insight. Although I have a question for the king.
Okay.
My king, sir, I will then point out that we have a very general language among ourselves, which is English language. For me, it has actually united the nation by speaking one particular language.
Okay.
So I would ask, do you think if we had not have that particular language on board in this nation, we would have still had division among ourselves, or it would have united us together?
Over to you, Mike.
English language is a border language. It's not among our cultural languages. Are you getting me? Now, when we want to relate the excess of communication, our ancestors did communicated when we had no English language. That is why they say African, the history of arithmetic started in Africa. There were ways we communicated in Africa outside the colonial introduction of a common language. We had ways of communication where we understood ourselves. Then let's take it that era was a pre-colonial era. The community in this language helped us, going to your question.
Yeah.
It helped us a great deal because we were able to cross boundaries based on colonial invasion. We are forcefully introduced to each other. Maybe if there weren't colonial invasion, we could have also with time developed a common language. We could have understood ourselves. But we are forced into that mirage. Then that forceful integration required a fast language where everybody could what? Understand and flow.
Okay, thank you so much.
Despite that, if Africans were left on their own, we could have developed a common language through which we communicate, because during the pre-colonial era, we were trading. There was bilateral trades amongst ethnicity or ethnic groups that don't understand each other lingually, but they were trading. There were tribal marriages and a lot of things. You understand? So Africans were developing a concept of communication that could, gender effective communication. So it was on a developmental stage before colonies came. Then when they came, they forced us. It's like if it's something that could have happened in the next 10 years, it didn't happen within 1 year. So that forceful integration, we needed a common language, and English was what was available. Then we accepted it, but despite accepting it, we created value out of that common language development, and we had our own pidgin language.
EZE-IKEMBA 1 TV, redefining African culture and the spirit.